Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Oh boy. All the wonderful actors, Richard Harris, Morgan Freeman, Francis Fisher.
Gene Hackman was a legendary American actor whose powerful performances left an indelible mark on film history. Born in 1930, he rose from modest beginnings to become a two-time Academy Award winner, known for unforgettable roles in The French Connection, Unforgiven, and The Royal Tenenbaums. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Hackman embodied characters with depth, grit, and authenticity, earning the admiration of audiences across generations. Beyond the spotlight, Gene was a deeply private man who found peace in Santa Fe, New Mexico, with his wife, Betsy Arakawa. In February 2025, both Gene and Betsy were discovered in their home after a prolonged period of silence. Authorities confirmed Gene passed from hypertensive atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's disease as a contributing factor. Betsy, a classical pianist, succumbed to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare condition linked to environmental exposure. Even in his final years, Gene remained a figure of grace and quiet strength. He painted, stayed connected to nature, and cherished the simple life away from Hollywood's glare. His legacy is not only in the characters he portrayed, but in the dignity with which he lived. For fans, Gene Hackman remains more than an actor. He is a timeless presence, whose voice and vision will never fade. Val Kilmer was a bold and captivating American actor, born on December 31, 1959, in Los Angeles, California. Known for his remarkable ability to disappear into his roles, Kilmer became one of Hollywood's most versatile performers. He first rose to stardom in the 1980s with standout roles in Top Secret and Top Gun, where he portrayed the cool and competitive fighter pilot, Iceman, a role he would revisit nearly 4 decades later in Top Gun, Maverick, 2022. Kilmer's career soared in the 1990s with unforgettable portrayals in The Doors, Tombstone, Batman Forever, and Heat. His commitment to portraying Jim Morrison in The Doors was extraordinary. He sang most of the film's music himself and immersed deeply in the role, earning lasting respect from Morrison's bandmates. In 2015, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer, which significantly impacted his voice and public presence. Yet he remained a force of creative energy, sharing his story in the documentary Val and continuing to inspire fans with his resilience. Val Kilmer passed on April 1, 2025, at age 65, due to complications from throat cancer. He is remembered as an artist of uncommon depth, whose performances live on in the hearts of audiences. His journey was one of courage, creativity, and lasting cinematic legacy.
Translate those ideas to cinema or to a painting or to whatever. And
if you've ever wandered through a dream and felt both wonder and unease, you've likely encountered the work of David Lynch. Born in 1946 in Missoula, Montana, Lynch was one of the most influential filmmakers of his time. His signature style, eerie, surreal, and deeply emotional, left a lasting mark on both film and television. From cult classics like Eraserhead and Blue Velvet to the mind-bending Mulholland Drive, Lynch redefined storytelling by turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. He also transformed television with Twin Peaks, co-created with Mark Frost. Premiering in 1990, the show's haunting atmosphere, quirky characters, and mysterious tone helped usher in a new era of cinematic TV. In 2017, Lynch returned to direct the entire revival series, Twin Peaks: The Return. Lynch passed away on January 16, 2025, at the age of 78, after a long struggle with emphysema. Despite health challenges, he remained creatively driven until the end. Outside of film, he was a devoted painter, furniture maker, and founder of the David Lynch Foundation, promoting transcendental meditation. David Lynch didn't just make movies, he built worlds. And though he's no longer here, those worlds remain open, waiting for us to step inside and lose ourselves once more.
By the light of day, but by night I'm one hell of a lover.
Breaking news. Tim Curry, the legendary actor whose voice and presence have lit up stage and screen for over 5 decades, is a name etched into the hearts of millions. With a career defined by daring roles and unforgettable performances, Curry is more than just a character actor. He is a cultural icon. But behind the characters and charisma lies a story of resilience, reinvention, and remarkable strength. Born in 1946, Curry's early years were shaped by a military upbringing and strict boarding school life. This backdrop served as the unlikely foundation for a man who would later become one of entertainment's most flamboyant and fearless performers. From his university days to his first appearance on stage, Curry quickly proved he had a flair for commanding attention, with a voice and presence that could fill any room. His rise to stardom exploded with his iconic role as Dr. Frank Furter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975. It was a performance that redefined boundaries and challenged conventions. A mix of outrageous humor, depth, and vulnerability, Curry's portrayal made the character unforgettable and helped create a global cult following. In a recent documentary, Strange Journey: The Story of Rocky Horror, Curry recalled those early days and even shared a humorous moment of frustration backstage. "I can't be powerful if you don't accept the power and at least cringe a little." That early conviction helped set the tone for a stage phenomenon that has never lost its spark. As his career unfolded, Curry delivered one unforgettable performance after another. He terrified audiences as Pennywise in It, 1990, brought charisma and wit to Wadsworth in Clue, 1985, and charmed theatergoers as King Arthur in Spamalot on Broadway and in London's West End. Each role was a testament to his versatility and fearless approach to storytelling. And yet, even as he soared, Curry faced one of his most daunting challenges. In 2012, he suffered a severe stroke that altered the course of his life. The incident was nearly catastrophic, but Tim Curry's story did not end there. Instead of stepping away entirely, he adapted. He transitioned into voice work, using his signature tone to bring life to animated characters, audiobooks, and video games. It was a move that allowed him to continue connecting with fans while working within new physical limitations. Now at age 78, Curry is sharing his life story in his first memoir, entitled Vagabond, set to release in October 2025. More than a career retrospective, the book delves into his personal life, childhood, and the lessons learned through triumph and hardship. "I've had the time of my life revisiting my favorite memories," Curry told People, "and I'm shivering with anticipation to share them with you this fall." Vagabond charts his journey from the curious boy in boarding school to one of the most distinctive voices in entertainment. It offers a behind-the-scenes look at his film sets, stage performances, and the transitions between mediums that he navigated with surprising ease. And perhaps most poignantly, it reflects on his near-fatal stroke and the creative detour it necessitated, not as an end, but as a new beginning. Throughout it all, Tim Curry has remained a beloved figure, not only for his talent, but for his resilience and humor. He has continued to appear at fan events, greeting admirers with the same spark that once brought Dr. Frank Furter to life. Though he now uses a wheelchair, his spirit is undiminished. Fans often remark that his energy, wit, and warmth are just as powerful as ever. Despite his health challenges, Curry has avoided public controversies and remains an enduring favorite among fans of all generations. There have been no recent scandals or divisive headlines attached to his name, a rare and admirable feat in a celebrity culture often defined by sensationalism. As we await the release of Vagabond, one thing is certain. Tim Curry's story is far from over. It is a narrative of transformation, grace, and the magic of performance. His voice, quite literally and metaphorically, continues to echo across generations. So, where is Tim Curry now? He is right where he has always been, in the hearts of his fans, in the memories of his legendary roles, and soon, in the pages of a memoir that promises to reveal the man behind the mystery. What are your favorite Tim Curry moments? Has his journey inspired you? Share your thoughts in the comments below as we celebrate the incredible legacy of a man who dared to be different, and in doing so, became unforgettable.
Not the Beverly Hilton, and I'm not the matron in charge of laundry.
Nah, don't get all hard-nosed about it, Doc. It's just my job. She's a very...
Richard Chamberlain was a beloved actor whose grace, intelligence, and quiet strength made him a fixture in American homes for over 5 decades. Best known for his breakout role as Dr. James Kildare in the 1960s NBC medical drama Dr. Kildare, he captivated audiences with a calm demeanor and undeniable screen presence. His talent soon extended far beyond the hospital halls. Dubbed the King of the Mini-series, Chamberlain brought epic characters to life in television events like Shogun, The Thornbirds, Centennial, and The Bourne Identity. His portrayal of emotionally complex men, especially Father Ralph in The Thornbirds, earned him Golden Globe Awards and cemented his place in television history. Born in Los Angeles in 1934, Chamberlain served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War before studying acting and theater. He later expanded his career onto the stage, taking on Shakespearean roles and leading Broadway revivals of My Fair Lady and The Sound of Music. On March 29, 2025, Richard Chamberlain passed peacefully in Waimanalo, Hawaii, at age 90 due to complications from a stroke. Though he kept a private life, his warmth, artistry, and quiet courage resonated with generations. Richard Chamberlain leaves behind a legacy of excellence in performance and dignity in life, a true leading man both on and off screen.
A twist of fate spun her world around.
Michelle Trachtenberg was a cherished presence in American television, whose work left an indelible mark on a generation of viewers. Born in New York City in 1985, she began acting at a young age and quickly captured hearts with her role in the Nickelodeon classic Harriet the Spy at just 10 years old. Her talent and screen presence only grew from there. In the early 2000s, Michelle became a household name as Dawn Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, playing the younger sister of Buffy with depth and vulnerability that resonated with fans. She later embraced a more mischievous role as Georgina Sparks on Gossip Girl, proving her range as an actress who could shift effortlessly from heartfelt to cunning. Off-screen, Michelle was private and introspective, especially in recent years as she faced growing health challenges. On February 26, 2025, she passed away at the age of 39 from complications related to diabetes mellitus, according to the New York City Medical Examiner. Those close to her shared that she had been quietly struggling with her health, but remained courageous and candid about it. Michelle Trachtenberg's performances helped define an era of television. She offered comfort, complexity, and connection through every role she played. Her legacy continues in the characters she brought to life and the many lives she touched along the way.
right turn on a red light.
All right, Max, forget it. Aren't you going to be late for meeting Annie?
I'm going to meet her in front of the Beekman. I think I have...
Tony Roberts was a beloved figure in American stage and screen, whose warm voice and unmistakable charm brought grace and intelligence to every role. Born in New York City in 1939, he followed in the footsteps of his father, famed radio announcer Ken Roberts, and carved out his own path in entertainment that spanned over 6 decades. He became a familiar face through his collaborations with Woody Allen, appearing in 6 of Allen's films, including Annie Hall, Play It Again, Sam, and Stardust Memories. On screen, he often played the quick-witted best friend, a perfect counterbalance to Allen's neurosis, delivered with wit and effortless ease. But it was Broadway where Roberts truly shined. He earned 2 Tony nominations and starred in productions like How Now, Dow Jones, Victor, Victoria, The Tale of the Allergist's Wife, and Xanadu. Whether leading a cast or stepping into an iconic role, Roberts brought both humor and heart to the stage, delighting audiences with his polished presence and timeless timing. In his later years, he remained active in theater, film, and television, and served the industry as a member of several performers' unions. On February 7, 2025, Tony Roberts passed away at age 85 due to complications from lung cancer. He leaves behind a legacy of artistry, generosity, and unforgettable performances that will live on in the hearts of theater lovers and film fans alike.
Doesn't absolve him from the hell he put her and Jason through.
Jason and Sam weren't the only ones that went through hell.
Oh,
Leslie Charlesson was a treasured figure in American television, best known for her nearly 50-year portrayal of Dr. Monica Quartermain on General Hospital. Born in Kansas City, Missouri in 1945, Leslie's career began in the 1960s and blossomed into one of the longest-running roles in daytime drama history. Her character, a brilliant cardiologist with a fiery spirit, became the heart of the Quartermain family and of the show itself. Leslie joined General Hospital in 1977 and quickly won over viewers with her blend of strength, vulnerability, and humor. From gripping medical emergencies to emotional family turmoil, Monica's storylines touched millions, including a powerful breast cancer arc that Leslie personally helped bring to life. Her work earned her 4 Daytime Emmy nominations and the enduring love of fans across generations. Off-screen, Leslie was known for her warmth, wit, and deep loyalty to her castmates and viewers. Even in her later years, as health challenges limited her appearances, she remained a beloved presence in the show's legacy. On January 12, 2025, Leslie passed peacefully at age 79, following complications after a fall. Her spirit lives on in the stories she helped tell and the countless hearts she touched. She wasn't just part of General Hospital, she was its soul.
Idea that he wanted to do this, and he would go into a city. I think he was going to Birmingham, Memphis, Nashville.
Claude Jarman Jr. was just a boy from Nashville when Hollywood found him and changed his life forever. He was 10 years old, sitting in a classroom, when director Clarence Brown cast him in The Yearling. That role, as a young boy who bonds with a fawn in the Florida wilderness, touched hearts around the world. And in 1947, Claude received the Juvenile Academy Award, one of only a handful ever given. From there, Claude's journey was anything but ordinary. He starred alongside legends like Gregory Peck and John Wayne in classics like Rio Grande and Intruder in the Dust, and shared studio classrooms with Elizabeth Taylor and Natalie Wood. His early fame brought him face-to-face with the golden age of cinema. But Claude always remained grounded. In the decades that followed, he built a full life beyond the spotlight. He led the San Francisco International Film Festival for 15 years, produced films, and published a memoir in 2018 reflecting on his journey. On January 12, 2025, Claude Jarman Jr. passed peacefully in his sleep at home in California, surrounded by love. He was 90, his legacy, a lifetime of grace, and a boy in the yearling who never stopped growing in our hearts.
Been marked by him, my son. We're not dealing with any ordinary demon here.
Our next story pays tribute to a familiar face whose talent lit up screens big and small for over 5 decades, Peter Jason. And before we begin, did you ever catch him in They Live or Deadwood? Share your favorite memory in the comments, because remembering him is how we keep his work alive. Peter Jason, a true giant of character acting, passed away peacefully at age 80 at his home in West Hollywood, following a long and courageous journey with cancer. Known for his deep voice, warmth, and versatility, Peter built an extraordinary career with over 275 screen credits, working with legends like John Carpenter, Walter Hill, and Orson Welles. Born in Hollywood in 1944, Peter's passion for acting took root in high school and never let go. From Howard Hawks' Rio Lobo to his unforgettable turn as Con Stapleton in HBO's Deadwood, he brought depth and color to every role. Whether portraying a tough bartender in 48 Dossiers, a scientist in Prince of Darkness, or a devoted uncle in Baskets, Peter made each moment on screen feel authentic. Outside of acting, he was an avid tennis player, a gifted woodworker, and a devoted family man. His friends described him as generous, full of humor, and someone who always knew his lines and showed up on time. Peter Jason's legacy reminds us that it's not about the spotlight, it's about the heart you bring to the craft.
What I did to Ginger is knock her around. So what, bitch? Pass around, that's gonna...
When you think of actors who gave their all, every time, in every role, Wings Hauser comes to mind. And before we begin, what's the first performance of his that stuck with you? Was it the intense Vice Squad, or his layered work on The Young and the Restless? Let us know in the comments. Your memories matter. Born in Hollywood in 1947 to a family steeped in storytelling, Wings was destined for the screen. Over nearly 6 decades, he brought grit, soul, and a kind of electric unpredictability to every character he played. Whether as Greg Foster on Y&R, the chilling Ramrod in Vice Squad, or guest appearances across Magnum, P.I., Murder, She Wrote, and Criminal Minds, he left a mark that couldn't be ignored. But Wings wasn't just an actor. He was a storyteller. In recent years, he was working on Working Class Actor, a documentary about his life and love for the craft. Though his health had declined, his spirit never did. He passed peacefully of natural causes on March 15, 2025, surrounded by love at his Carmel studio. His wife, artist, and creative partner Callie Lily Hauser now carries forward their shared vision. Wings' legacy lives on in film, in family, through son Cole Hauser, and in every artist who dares to stay bold, real, and resilient. What moment of Wings Hauser's career lives in your memory? Share below and help keep his flame alive.
Breathe, punk. Make your play. All right, Bobby, burn it!
Bill Burge was a uniquely beloved presence in American family entertainment. Quiet, quirky, and unforgettable. Born in September 1938 in Campbell County, Tennessee, he never set out to become a movie star. In fact, he worked at the Nashville Public Library for nearly 3 decades and only agreed to appear on screen if he could keep his day job. That humility became part of his charm. Best known for playing the silent, expressive Bobby alongside Jim Varney's Ernest in the popular Ernest films and CBS's Hey Vern, It's Ernest, Bill could steal a scene without saying a word. From Ernest Goes to Jail to Ernest Scared Stupid, his comedic timing and animated facial expressions made him a fan favorite across generations. Off-screen, he lived a quiet, grounded life, rooted in faith and respect for others. His cousin, Sharon Chapman, described him as a beautiful soul who brought laughter effortlessly, a sentiment echoed by the many fans who met him at schools, conventions, and community events. Bill Burge passed away peacefully on January 9, 2025, in the Nashville area at age 86, due to natural causes. Though he never chased fame, his impact was lasting. His legacy lives on through the joy he sparked, the laughter he inspired, and the gentle warmth he brought to American screens.
Monuments, your bits of ancient Rome, but there's a sight more stirring you can see right here at home. It's a grand old girl.
With heartfelt appreciation, we remember Diane Langton, a cherished British actress whose career in stage and screen spanned more than 6 decades. Best known to modern audiences for her role as Nana McQueen on the long-running soap Hollyoaks, Diane brought warmth, wit, and fierce loyalty to the character, making her a beloved matriarch in British television from 2007 through 2024. Born in 1947, Diane began her professional journey as a dancer, training at the Corona Academy before joining ballet companies touring Europe. Her early film work included roles in the Carry On series, and she soon made a name for herself on stage with performances in West End musicals like Hair, A Chorus Line, Pippin, and A Little Night Music. Her rich, expressive voice and emotional depth made her a standout in every production. Over the years, Diane graced British TV screens in iconic shows like Only Fools and Horses, EastEnders, and The Bill, always leaving a memorable impression. Despite the challenges of a demanding industry, she remained vibrant and committed, returning to Hollyoaks in her later years for one final appearance with grace and joy. Diane passed away peacefully on January 15, 2025, at the age of 77. Her agent confirmed the news, reflecting the quiet dignity she carried throughout her life. Diane Langton leaves behind a legacy of laughter, love, and timeless performances that continue to resonate across generations.
EastEnders. Then I did a couple of adverts. I did the Rimmel commercial with Kate Moss. Then I went into Celebrity Love Island.
Paul Dano was more than a familiar face on British television. He was a symbol of vulnerability wrapped in charisma, a performer who wore his heart on his sleeve both on screen and off. Born in 1978, he rose to fame as Saul Patrick on the long-running soap Hollyoaks, where his raw, emotional performances earned him early acclaim. But it was his appearances on Celebrity Love Island and Celebrity Big Brother that introduced audiences to the full complexity of the man behind the roles. Paul's life was a blend of talent, turbulence, and tenacity. He was open about his lifelong challenges with wellness and personal struggles, and he spent years working to regain his footing. His honesty, both endearing and courageous, made him relatable to many who had walked similar paths. In interviews, he spoke about hope, healing, and the desire to make meaningful change, not just in his own life, but in others. In his final chapter, Paul was preparing to return to acting in an independent film titled Bloody Love. Sadly, on January 15, 2025, he passed away at his home in Bristol. The official cause was confirmed to be complications from combined substance toxicity. Paul Dano leaves behind a legacy of sincerity, resilience, and a spark that never fully dimmed. He is remembered with warmth, respect, and admiration by fans, friends, and colleagues alike.
You're over 60. You babble away like a little schoolboy. Nobody ever knows what the hell you're talking about. Oh, Marcia, dear.
With reverence and admiration, we remember Dame Joan Plowright, a towering figure in British theatre and cinema whose grace, wit, and resilience captivated generations. She passed peacefully on January 16, 2025, at the age of 95, surrounded by her family at Denville Hall, after years of living with macular degeneration. Born in Lincolnshire in 1929, Joan's passion for the stage emerged early. After training at the Old Vic Theatre School, she soared to prominence in the 1950s and 60s with unforgettable performances in The Entertainer, A Taste of Honey, and Major Barbara. Her marriage to Sir Laurence Olivier in 1961 forged a legendary partnership both on stage and off. Throughout her 7-decade career, Joan brought fierce intelligence and tender humanity to roles across film, television, and Broadway. She was honored with a Tony Award, 2 Golden Globes in one evening, and an Oscar nomination for Enchanted April. In her later years, she graced the screen in beloved films such as Tea with Mussolini and The Spiderwick Chronicles. Joan retired in 2014 due to declining vision, but her spirit never dimmed. Her legacy lives on in the hearts of audiences, in the strength of her performances, and in the actors she inspired. What's your favorite Joan Plowright role? Share your memories below, and help us celebrate a dame who truly lit up every stage she touched.
Once we were so happy, you were my very own. But then you bought that guitar and you ruined our happy home.
If you've ever watched an Elvis Presley film and found yourself drawn to the warmth of a character just off-center from the spotlight, you may have been watching Jan Shepard. Born Josephine Angela Sorbello on March 19, 1928, in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, Jan Shepard was a golden age actress who built her career one meaningful role at a time. She is best remembered for her touching performance as Mimi Fisher, Elvis's on-screen sister in King Creole, 1958, and for her role in Paradise Hawaiian Style, 1966. Yet her talents extended far beyond the big screen. A staple of classic television, she graced over 30 Western series including Gunsmoke, The Virginian, and Bonanza, always bringing grit, grace, and sincerity to her characters. Jan's path wasn't always easy. She began her journey in Hollywood while working as a secretary and studying theater at the Pasadena Playhouse. But her resilience and love for storytelling carried her through decades of television and film. On January 17, 2025, Jan passed away at age 96 from pneumonia linked to respiratory failure, surrounded by her loved ones. Her son, Brandon Boyle, confirmed the news. Jan Shepard's legacy is one of kindness, professionalism, and quiet strength. For those who watched her on screen, she wasn't just a performer. She was a familiar face in the golden days of storytelling.
What about all those gauges?
They're standard.
Ah, the tachometer. I have to pay extra for that, right?
No, it's standard.
John Irwin was a gifted voice actor whose warm, commanding presence helped shape a golden age of Saturday morning television. Born on December 5, 1936, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, he brought to life some of the most iconic characters in American animation history, most notably the heroic He-Man in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and the snarky Reggie Mantle in The Archie Show. From the 1960s through the 1980s, Irwin's voice became a comforting and familiar sound to generations of children. Whether as the brave Prince Adam, the comic relief in Archie's Gang, or even the famously finicky Morris the Cat in 9 Lives commercials, his performances were filled with heart, humor, and a rare sincerity that left a lasting impression. Though deeply private and rarely seen in public, Irwin was known by colleagues for his humility, wit, and remarkable talent. He voiced multiple characters in He-Man, including Beast-Man, and narrated for shows like Here's Lucy and Malcolm and Eddie. He even returned for a nostalgic cameo in Family Guy in 2005. John Irwin passed of natural causes in December 2024 at age 88, surrounded by the quiet solitude he cherished. His family shared that he is survived by his beloved children and grandchildren. His voice may have been behind the scenes, but his impact was front and center for all who grew up with the power of his imagination. Jay North was a cherished figure in American television history, best remembered for bringing the beloved comic strip character Dennis Mitchell to life in the hit CBS series Dennis the Menace, 1959-1963. Born on August 3, 1951, in Hollywood, California, Jay stepped into the spotlight at just 6 years old, and by 8, he was a household name, captivating viewers with his mischievous charm and bright smile. Though his time on the show made him a star, Jay's journey through fame was not without hardship. He later spoke openly about the emotional toll of childhood stardom, but rather than letting it define him, he used his experiences to advocate for the protection and well-being of young actors. His honesty, resilience, and advocacy inspired many within the industry. After Dennis the Menace, Jay continued working in film and television, taking on lead roles in Maya and Zebra in the Kitchen, and lending his voice to a variety of animated series during the 1970s. He eventually stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a quieter life while staying connected to fans and friends. Jay passed away peacefully at his home in Lake Butler, Florida, on January 21, 2025, at the age of 73, following a long journey with colon cancer. He is remembered for his warmth, generosity, and for giving a generation of viewers a reason to smile every Sunday night. Joey D. Vieira was a cherished figure from television's golden age, best known for his endearing role as Porky on the beloved series Lassie. Born on April 8, 1944, in Los Angeles, Joey began acting at an early age and became a household name during the show's first 4 seasons. As Sylvester Porky Brockway, he won the hearts of viewers with his beanie-clad charm and loyal friendship to Jeff and the iconic collie Lassie. Appearing in 91 episodes, he helped define the early warmth and spirit of family television. Beyond Lassie, Joey's career extended into film and television, with roles in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Patriot, and Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. He later diversified his talents, working behind the scenes as a producer, composer, and director for television and promotional media. Known for his kindness, humility, and connection to fans, Joey remained close with his Lassie family throughout his life. After a long hospital stay, Joey entered hospice care and passed peacefully on April 7, 2025, just 8 minutes before his 81st birthday. He was surrounded by loved ones. His daughter Shannon and lifelong friends shared the news. Joey D. Vieira leaves behind a legacy of innocence, nostalgia, and timeless storytelling, a reminder of simpler days and the enduring magic of childhood television. Our next story remembers a beloved action star whose intense screen presence and signature matchstick-in-mouth glare left a mark on generations of moviegoers. We're talking about the unforgettable Mel Novak. And before we begin, do you remember watching Mel in Game of Death or Black Belt Jones? From 0 to 10, how would you rate his portrayal of the ultimate movie villain? Let us know in the comments. Your memories help keep his legacy alive. Mel Novak, best known for playing iconic villains in martial arts and action films, passed away on April 9, 2025, at age 90 due to natural causes. His daughter, Nicole, shared that he spent his final moments in a care facility, surrounded by loved ones. Born Milan Mitrojevic in Pittsburgh in 1934, Mel was a gifted athlete who turned down dozens of football scholarships before an injury ended his sports career. He then embraced acting, launching a new path with roles that demanded grit and physicality. In Bruce Lee's Game of Death, Mel became unforgettable as the deadly sniper stick. His tough guy performances continued in Black Belt Jones, An Eye for an Eye, and Tom Horn. Behind the scenes, Mel was also an ordained minister who dedicated nearly 4 decades to prison and street ministry in Los Angeles. Despite enduring daily pain from stunt injuries, he continued to serve with heart and humility. Mel Novak leaves behind a legacy of fierce performances and quiet compassion, on screen and in life. Nikki Caton was a one-of-a-kind actor whose roles pulsed with intensity, wit, and fearless originality. Born on May 11, 1970 in South Dakota, he began acting at just 7 years old, quickly proving he had a presence beyond his years. Over nearly 4 decades, Nikki left his mark on both television and film, embracing characters that were often gritty, unpredictable, and unforgettable. He found early fame as Clint Bruno in the 1993 cult classic Dazed and Confused, playing a hot-tempered teen with a memorable edge. But it was his performance as Harry Sennett, a troubled, fiercely devoted teacher on Boston Public, that earned him recognition among older audiences for portraying complexity with honesty and heart. From A Time to Kill to Boiler Room, from Friends to Law and Order, his range was undeniable. Whether he was delivering sharp dialogue or brooding in silence, Nikki brought truth to every frame. Behind the scenes, those who worked with him described a loyal friend, an actor deeply committed to his craft, and someone who gave his all to every scene. He was especially praised for his creativity and preparation, often bringing his own costumes, props, and unique takes that made his characters stand out. On April 8, 2025, Nikki passed away in Burbank at the age of 54 due to complications related to mental health. His quiet departure was confirmed by his longtime attorney, and those closest to him have since shared heartfelt tributes celebrating not just his talent, but his kindness and depth. Do you remember a performance of Nikki's that stayed with you? Let us know in the comments and help us honor a life lived in pursuit of authentic storytelling.
And we agree to the rules, and that's what makes us Americans. It's all that makes us Americans, so don't tell me there's no rule book, and don't...
Tom Hanks just dropped a mysterious hint about Toy Story 5. What is Woody up to now? Tom Hanks, the beloved actor whose face has graced cinema screens for over 4 decades, continues to embody grace, versatility, and endurance in the ever-evolving world of entertainment. With an unmatched ability to connect with audiences through sincerity and strength, Hanks has become a household name, not only for his roles, but for the warmth and authenticity he brings to every performance. But behind the accolades and standing ovations lies a story of transformation, challenge, and resilience. Born on July 9, 1956, in Concord, California, Hanks grew up in a working-class family and experienced a childhood shaped by multiple relocations and changing family dynamics. It was in those early years that he developed a deep sense of empathy, an emotional intelligence that would later define his acting. His breakthrough came with the 1988 comedy Byrge, where his performance as a child trapped in an adult's body earned him his first Academy Award nomination. It was only the beginning. Over the years, Hanks would deliver unforgettable performances in films such as Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, Cast Away, and The Green Mile. Each role was more than just a character. It was a reflection of humanity's triumphs, flaws, and hopes. His portrayal of Forrest Gump in 1994 remains a cinematic landmark, earning him a second consecutive Oscar. Hanks captivated viewers with a character who was as simple as he was profound, navigating historical moments with unwavering kindness and clarity. Through this role, he became more than an actor. He became a cultural icon. And then there is Woody, the cowboy doll with a heart as big as his hat. Hanks's voice brought warmth, humor, and leadership to Toy Story, a role he has reprised across 4 films and is now returning to once more in the upcoming Toy Story 5. On April 22, 2025, Hanks marked his return to the sound booth, posting a cryptic image of his hand at a microphone with the caption, "First day of work on a certain story number 5, need a hint? Disney, Studio B." The post sparked excitement across social media, with fans speculating on what Woody's next chapter will bring. The film, slated for release on June 19, 2026, is expected to reunite Hanks with longtime co-stars Tim Allen and Joan Cusack, with a storyline rumored to explore the impact of modern technology on childhood play. Director Andrew Stanton has teased that the toys will face new challenges in an increasingly digital world. According to early reports, this installment will give more focus to Jessie, while Woody and Buzz Lightyear take on more reflective roles. But not every chapter in Hanks's story has been written on a red carpet. In 2013, he publicly shared that he had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, a condition he partially attributed to years of dramatic weight changes for film roles. In 2020, he and his wife, actress Rita Wilson, made headlines as among the first celebrities to contract and recover from COVID-19 while in Australia. Through honesty and transparency, they turned a health scare into a message of caution and hope. At 68, Hanks reflects on aging with humor and humility. He recently shared that he feels healthier now than he did at 35, thanks to balanced routines, exercise, and family support. "Life is quieter now," he has said, "but it is full." Though Tom Hanks remains largely free from controversy, he has not been immune to the complexities of fame. In 2024, he publicly warned fans against the use of his likeness in unauthorized artificial intelligence-generated advertisements. These digital deceptions used AI to impersonate him in promotional materials, prompting Hanks to issue a reminder: always verify the source and remember that his trusted voice is never for sale. What sets Tom Hanks apart is not just his talent, but his unwavering commitment to integrity. Whether in front of the camera, behind the scenes, or in his private life, Hanks carries with him a quiet dignity. He is a man who has walked through challenges not with defiance, but with compassion. Today, Tom Hanks continues to create, inspire, and lead by example. His legacy is not merely in the awards or the box office numbers, but in the lives he has touched through the stories he tells. From portraying everyday heroes to animated icons, he has gifted audiences with characters who remind us of what it means to be human. So where is Tom Hanks now? He is back in the studio, breathing life once again into Woody. He is spending time with his family, choosing calm over chaos. And most importantly, he is still showing us that resilience and kindness are always in style. What are your favorite Tom Hanks roles? Has his journey inspired you or your family in any way? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if this story moved you, consider subscribing to celebrate more timeless journeys like his.